Hello everyone, welcome to EEE3522 Communication Engineering video presentation. Today I'm going to present the walkie-talkie. My name is ZHOU SHAOLONG and the metric number is 204448. Let's move on to the table of contents. So in this video presentation, I'm going to present the introduction, background, and the history of the walkie-talkie and how the walkie-talkie work, the circuit inside the walkie-talkie, the development of the walkie-talkie, and finally the application of the walkie-talkie. So let's move on to the introduction part. First of all, the walkie-talkie is a portable two-way radio. It is also a battery-powered transceiver. This means that they can both send and receive radio messages. They have the duplex channel, which indicates that only one walkie-talkie on a channel can transmit a signal at a time. Although many radios can receive that same signal, in other words, unlike your phone, in which both parties can interrupt and add to the conversion in a ceaseless flow of sound, walkie-talkie use a push to talk system. You have to this system means that you have to press a button in order to speak, and you have to release the button to hear the sound coming from the other people. And the third point is the walkie-talkie is designed for short-range communications, because you don't have to dial a number each time you want to transmit. So the walkie-talkie are quick and easy to use. Best of all, they don't rely on the cell phone signals. And as you know that the handsets transmit directly to each other. So they still work when the cell networks fail during the disasters or power outages. So they are designed for short-range communications in which groups of people are within a few miles to each other. So as you can see, this shows the picture of walkie-talkie. So as you can see here, this is the push to talk button on the walkie-talkie. So let's move on to the background and history part. The Donald Haynes made the first ZHOU walkie-talkie in the year 1937, but it was not called a walkie-talkie at that time. It was simply a two-way field radio. They were also called wireless sets, known as Texas. Journalists who were reporting on this new invention during the war made up the term walkie-talkie. Walkie-talkie wasn't very popular until the war broke out in the year 1939, and these suddenly became valuable military technology. It was during the war when it became evidence that just how useful these walkie-talkies could be. Being able to instant communicate over long distance while it's still allowing for the mobility complete change the dynamic of the communication. At the start of the war, the devices were used to made of metal, could weigh upwards of 5 pounds, as you can see on the picture. This is very heavy. So and this is also very tall, about 17 inches tall. Interactive advancements in form factor were made upward with their continued use. So now let's move on to the next part, which is the how it works. So when you talking to walkie-talkie, your voice is picked up by a microphone encoded down to a radio frequency and transmitted with the antenna. Another walkie-talkie can receive the transmission with each antenna, decode your voice from the radio signal and drive the speaker. People communicating by walkie-talkie must first of all ensure that they are sharing the same channel, or we say that the frequency band. Their handsets are all set to receive, so the microphone come loudspeakers is set to loudspeaker. When no one is talking, the device will probably be broadcasting the sound of static, like a detuned radio. When someone wishes to talk, they simply depress the push to talk button, force their loudspeaker to switch to microphone function, eliminating in the process the sound of static. As they speak, their words are converted into radio waves and broadcast across the pre-arranged channel. Radio waves fall within the electromagnetic spectrum and therefore travel at the speed of light, and they are being picked up what feels like instantaneously by the other handsets, where they are converted back into the vibration electric current, and the speaker's voice is then broadcast by loudspeaker. When the speaker has finished speaking, when it's finished speaking, the person just over to let the listener know that they have finished speaking, and they release the push to talk button, and their handset returns to listening mode. A walkie-talkie is two-way radio, which means that unlike a normal radio, it can both send and receive the information. As the same channel is used for both the functions, this means that only one person can talk at a time in order to avoid the probability of interference from the other two-way radio users. Most modern systems allow user on multiple channels in order to do this, to implement this, the radio transmitter must be able to generate waves in the different frequency, so that the walkie-talkie are powered by the battery, can both transmitting and receiving the messages, and they are manufactured to work to specific the radio frequency. Sorry. Radio waves are part of the electromagnetic spectrum and are transmitted at the speed of light. While a user is not speaking, the unit will be issuing the static as it is in receiving mode, and you will hear a hissing noise just like you would with a radio that isn't tuned into a station. As you know that we want to talk to the walkie-talkie, you have to press the button, and in order to hear the reply, you have to release the button provided by the parties. Means that the people from the both sides are sharing the same frequency band or the same channel. It is possible to communicate over several miles depending on the training. That there's no limit to how many walkie-talkie users can communicate at the same time. However, because all people will be sharing the same frequency bandwidth, only one person can speak at any one time. So this is the disadvantages of the walkie-talkie. Once you have finished relaying your message, you will say over to release the button to allow your handset to uh, pre revert to a listening mode and let the other person speak because of the group talk facility and the usability in areas of a poor mobile signal quality. Two-way radios are often preferred by small business, recuse groups, and the military. All right, now let's move to the circuit inside the walkie-talkie. So as you can see on the screen, that this is a low cost and simple intercom circuit design of the walkie-talkie. Some intercom circuits is built by applying integrated circuits. The circuit described right here utilizes three certainly transistors which easy to find on the electronic store. The circuit consists of three-stage resistor capacitor. You can see the first, the second, the third stage capacitor, coupled amplifier. When the ring button S2 is pushed, the amplifier circuit designed close to transistors T1 and T2 becomes converted into a asymmetrical, stable multivibrator producing ring signals. These ring signals that being generated by these two transistors are being amplified by the transistor T3. So can be amplified by this transistor to drive the speaker of ear pace. So now let's move to the development of the walkie-talkie. As you can see on the screen, in the year 1948 to the year 1958, in this period, the walkie-talkie become more popular and began developing. And also the walkie-talkie can work here in long-distance transmission in this period. So in this period, the walkie-talkie became a solid handheld form, so it's for more convenience for the people to carry it. So in the year 1981 to the year 1991, the walkie-talkie become a two-way, full-word, low-powered handheld walkie-talkie, where you had to push your switch in order to talk and listen. So in this period, the walkie-talkie was once again improved, and it could go up to 1.5 miles in an open area. So let's move on to the in the year 2014 to the present. The cell phone have become so far because of the walkie-talkie. And also the walkie-talkie is still used among police officers and soldiers. So let's move on to the final part, which is the application of the walkie-talkie. So the walkie-talkie could use in hospitality industry and the widely used in between the soldiers in last century. So the hospitality industry depends on security personnel to make sure the guests are safe, and the workers might be anywhere in the hotel. The crew keeps one another posted on any security issues, while one patrol and a walkie-talkie is effective way to keep everyone properly deployed. Speed is essential in a crisis. So the security workers must be able to call for assistance or to have someone call for the police quickly. So that's all. That's all for my video presentation on the walkie-talkie. And finally, thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Bye.